cool. I have a void now. Let's talk about some video games. Pokemon Snap is one of those games that is kind of universally loved. It came out in 1999, and I don't think I have a single friend who played it and didn't at least enjoy their time playing it. Maybe not all of them finished the game to its completion, finding Mew, getting that final encounter. It's not really a fight or a chase, it's just kind of you throw things at Mew until he decides to let you take a really quick photo and then you repeat the process. But still, I think everyone I know, even people who don't regularly play video games, enjoyed playing that game as a kid. I really enjoyed it. I used to borrow it from my friend across the street all the time. He'd lend it to me for a couple weeks and I'd get to play through it again. Going to Blockbuster, I think we printed out photos from both of our games and playthroughs multiple times. And it's a lot of fun. For the time, it's pretty impressive. It was really technologically impressive for the time. The way that it detected Pokemon models and if they're facing forward and back is really complex, and I don't really remember seeing a game that kind of matched the complexity of that. And I know that the emulating scene, it was really hard to emulate it because it used real memory of the N64 or something along the lines, but it had a lot of secrets, it had a lot of hidden things you could do to get more Pokemon in different areas and build them up, and it was really impressive. And for a lot of us, it was the first time we had seen these specific Pokemon moving around outside of the anime, and sometimes for the first time. And most people know the story of the development of this new one. At least it was very much, we want a sequel kind of immediately after Pokemon Snap came out. Over the years, people still wanted a sequel, and they were like, we don't really have any new ideas or ways to make it interesting, so we're just not gonna give you something half-cocked. And while that sucks to hear, we're not gonna make a sequel to a game you want, it's actually really nice of a company to go, hey, we don't have anything that would make it fun, or at least different, meaningfully different from the previous installment, so we're just not gonna waste our time and waste your time. But everyone was really excited in 2020 when they announced new Pokemon Snap. And I think from the trailer, everyone was already excited and expected it to just kind of be Pokemon Snap but on the Switch. But there's so much more to it than just that in its improvements on the original Pokemon Snap model that I think warrant highlighting why they're so good. I'm going to be keeping spoilers to a minimum. I'm only going to be showing footage from the night and day of the first area that you can go to. You get there pretty fast, so it's not too spoilery, and I want to keep the rest of the stuff that I found a secret, so you guys can enjoy that for yourself. So let's look at the things that I think new Pokemon Snap does right. Like I mentioned, old Pokemon Snap was pretty amazing when it released. In 1999, a game that could register if the player had moused over a specific model and then could determine if that model was facing toward the player or not, and if so, by how much and how big it was, what position it was in, if there were any other of the same models in the photo. It was pretty impressive. But with this came a lot of restrictions as well. If a Pokemon was facing away from you or was too small, you wouldn't even get a chance to really score the photo. And you could only save a single photo in your photo decks. I remember this ended up causing me and my friends who really wanted to get the highest scores possible on each of the photos to have very similar looking photos because there was only a certain amount of ways you could take a photo of a model to get the most points. All of our photos started looking the same. New Pokemon Snap has an increased range of scoring, and with this scoring allows for a lot more freedom within the scoring system. So instead of just action, position, same Pokemon, and size, you now have pose, size, placement, background, other Pokemon, and direction. So first and foremost, other Pokemon. This allows you to get points for any Pokemon in the background of your photo, not just Pokemon of the same species. Couple that with the background scoring and placement scoring, and you can create some really interesting photos using a wide variety of Pokemon in a single area. The other one is my favorite change, and that is direction. Now, direction takes into account which direction the Pokemon is facing. So far, I've not been rejected on getting a Pokemon that's facing the entire opposite direction of me. It's paying me no attention. This is great, especially in the case of like Pokemon like Vivillon or Beautifly, where the back wings are the prettiest part of the Pokemon, and you kind of want to get photos of them rather than just necessarily them facing you. So it provides you with a lot of opportunities to take some pretty interesting shots. So they've improved scoring. That's to be expected, and all of these scoring changes are definitely welcome. The new mechanic in the scoring system is that the Photo Dex now has 4 slots, each one represented by a star, or set of stars, meaning there's a spot for a 1-star photo, a 2-star photo, a 3-star photo, and a 4-star photo. To fill up the Photo Dex completely, you'll need 1 photo of each grade of each species. These work in tandem with your scoring point total, and you are assigned a star rating based on how many points you got. So you either get bronze, silver, gold, or diamond. Not every photo is as clear now as put the Pokemon in the center, make sure it's facing you, and make sure it's big. Sometimes the trick of getting 3 to 4 star photos is doing things that cause Pokemon far away to do a specific action. So you're not going to get that bonus to size or facing the camera, but you can make that up with other Pokemon, background, pose. It breaks away from the monotony of the original game, where if you wanted to get the highest point total, you had to be directly in front of the Pokemon and have it be as big in the frame as possible. Now you can have really cool shots that give you really big point totals, and you're not just feeling like you're in this kind of set the Pokemon up in front of you mentality. You kind of really feel like you're going through an environment taking cool photos of these creatures. It's awesome, it's supported through the new mechanics, and it creates this level of atmosphere that really wasn't that present in the original game. Speaking of atmosphere, this game has incredible atmosphere. Visually, it's vibrant and stunning. The Leno region has rich flora to see along with an abundance of Pokemon scattered around each area. The Pokemon themselves have fantastic animation, great variety of emotions and actions, and when they interact, the animation immerses you in the moment of these Pokemon interacting with each other. The Pokemon models and kind of overall environment of this game, chef's kiss, beautiful. 10 out of 10. It could not be better for this game. I mean, I guess it could, but the style that they've chosen, obviously everything can be better, but the style they've chosen works perfectly with the kind of calm atmosphere that this game creates. It's a very good example of choosing a style and playing to that style's strengths to keep the player's suspension of disbelief. Coupled with this, the audio design is perfect, with a mixture of nature sounds, more realistic Pokemon cries, and the world just jumps alive from the first moment you set out to take pictures. This game does a really good job of audio cues from the full 360 degrees around the Neo 1. It helps guide more novice players to naturally turn in the direction towards the current action or the nearest, interaction between Pokemon. Combine all this with the day and the night expeditions, and you have this great ball of visual and audio supports for an incredible ambiance. Daytime expeditions are lively. Pokemon are running around, they're kind of going about their day-to-day, you can influence them to do certain actions because they're all awake, and night is distinctively more quiet and calm. Each time you interact with the world and Pokemon at night, it feels like a big disturbance to the natural flow of this environment. And it creates this kind of nice dynamic of setting and tone for each expedition. The first few night missions, I barely used any of my tools, instead opting to only shoot photos of what I could see without having to really influence the world around me. As time went on, I had to get more intrusive to get the really good photos to reach Diamond rank in all 4-star categories. This counters really well to the kind of automatic way that Daytime asks the player to interact with it, and teaches the player that sometimes they need to take a step back if they really want to get those once-in-a-lifetime photo opportunities. The atmosphere of each of these day and night expeditions support the goal of teaching the player the necessity of both being intrusive and taking that step back to get the perfect shot. Now, the main gameplay of Snap hasn't changed that much. You set out on a predetermined path and you take photos of Pokemon using tools to influence and create opportunities for amazing photos. New Snap adds in a few additional features that really flesh the game out. The first one is the introduction of requests. One of the NPC characters will mention a specific location, a Pokemon, or a challenge, and then it's up to the player to fulfill or figure out that request. Sometimes you even get a reward for completing these that adds options for your profile, your title, your avatar, or even some of the photo editing tools that you get to use on your photos after you come back from these expeditions. This is a great way to implement a mission system in this kind of a game without setting up a lot of pressure or feeling that the player has to do these things. They're all optional. And as far as I know, you can get through the game without completing a single one if you don't want to. Another mechanic is the research levels for each expedition. As you improve and take better photos, you will get experience for these photos, which will allow you to level up your research level. Each expedition, both day and night for each level, has its own research experience, and as you level up, you get new possible positions for the Pokemon that appear in this expedition. Yes, you can unlock optional locations and paths for Pokemon, making this game have somewhat of a modular feel. It's not only a great excuse for increasing replayability, but it takes the stiff nature of the original game out of the equation. Sometimes that Pidgeot won't appear at the start of the level, and you won't be able to grab the photo for the one request that you initially set out, but the mysterious Pokemon next to Torterra later on in the level will actually be there, allowing you to fulfill that mission. It just adds this feeling of a realistic habitat of living creatures, and this reinforces the strong design of the overall atmosphere. Now, you're not only able to just take photos and save them, you can actually edit photos in this game. You can add filters, effects, stickers, and captions. Then you can save them on your Switch album or post them online. This is kind of a no-brainer, obviously, for a photo game, but it's one of those things that just kind of increases the amount of things you can do in this game. Also, it just lets you be a little more individual and unique with your photos. Now, normally online features don't really ever matter to me in a single-player game. It's not usually something I enjoy messing around with. However, this game's online features are pretty much a delight. You can browse other people's photos, you can visit their profiles, you can see their top shots. You can also leave nice medals, basically these things where you say like, this is a great photo. It kind of takes negativity out of the equation on a user-to-user connection level, and it's just going to be super positive, so I really like it. You can also leave titles on your photos, and some of the ones I've seen have allowed people to be really funny in a way that I haven't seen since Miiverse. And I really feel like the captions and editing in this game are gonna give a real Miiverse vibe to the online community of this game, so I'm really about it. Also, for people who want to maybe be a little bit more competitive with this game, you know, it's a relaxing game. Some people really need that competitive drive. There's actually a leaderboard for top photographers based on points. And it's really cool. You can see where you're at versus other people. Some people are like miles ahead. Other people are kind of around you. You can explore their profiles. It's really cool. I really like the online features of this game. They're really wholesome. It's perfect. It's perfect for this game. So I don't really have an outro for this. I haven't really written this or anything. I was just really excited and wanted to talk about why this game is good. I've already sunk 8 hours into the game, and I've only explored the first 2 locations. Day and night cycle, the different Pokemon that show up have gotten me going back and forth. I'm still trying to figure out how to get certain ones to appear that, like, I know they're there, but I can't figure it out yet. Like I was talking about, how you're not necessarily guaranteed the exact same Pokemon positions, even if you increase your research level, which keeps you on your toes and just kind of forces you to be in the moment and not overthink your route in a level too much, because you might take an alternate path, or that Pidgeot might not show up, so you're going to have to focus on one of your other challenges or requests and come back to it later. It's a lot of fun. I highly recommend everyone who likes Pokemon and at least likes the original Pokemon Snap should get this. It's definitely a fun time. I know I'm going to be playing this for the next week. So yeah, that's all. No big pomp and circumstance. If you liked me talking about stuff, just let me know. If you're enjoying the game, let me know in the comments, of the video. It's fun to interact with people on the stuff I make. But yeah, that's all. Enjoy your day. Get yourself this as a treat. It's a lot of fun. And yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Who knows? Maybe that'll be in a couple weeks, or maybe it'll be like 3-4 years. Who knows? It's kind of hard to tell. So yeah, have a great day. Where did I leave my phone? Huh. Wonder if I get service in this void.